what army of YouTube moderators did this woman fillet to completion?
I don't like to do the creator drama thing, but I do like to talk about it if it has something to do with a larger issue, right? And this has to do with a larger issue where over the weekend, this guy named Jack, he has this channel named called Jacksfilms. And he's been online for a long time. I think he's been online on YouTube since like 2006, 2007, 2008. Been on for a long time, has many, many million subscribers. Made a lot of shifts in his content over the years as YouTube has changed, and he's still sticking around. Made a very good living for himself. But he's been fairly critical of this. I use the term creator very loosely, as SSniperwolf is the person he's been very critical of because of the content that she produces. Now, SSniperwolf is a creator who has 34.2 million subscribers. I met SSniperwolf and Melanie at the same time back in 2000, I don't know, maybe it was 2012, right as they were like the hot gamer girls, right? But I'm not like physically hot. I mean, like they were the hot young talent that was coming up in the gaming space, right? And this was right as Screw Attack had been acquired by Fullscreen. And I met SSniperwolf when she had maybe like 20,000 subscribers. But they had pinned her. This is the girl. This is the girl that's going to see all the success. Well, now here she is a decade later with 34 million subscribers. And she has long moved past the gaming content because she was your Call of Duty gamer, your streamer type thing, and now she does reactionary content, right? Now, Jacksfilms has been critical of this content and made several videos talking about how she doesn't make reactionary content, she does descriptive content. To where as she's watching a show and it'll be like a man will be eating corn and she's like, "Oh, the man's eating corn." And like that's all she does, and she just describes what's happening.
For what, like Stevie Wonder?
Right. She'd be like, "Well, the man's moving his head back and forth." Like
maybe there's just like 36 million blind as fuck people.
Just
maybe
for the blind community.
Are we sure she hasn't just cornered like an untapped market?
Well, she certainly has. She's doing great because every single video she produces, every one gets over 1 million views.
Because it's all front page. Like I don't even know this broad. The only thing I know is that Google insists on putting her on my fucking feed.
Okay.
Like what army of YouTube moderators did this woman fillet to completion is my question. Like what? She's like the Windows paperclip. I can't get rid of this bitch on my YouTube fucking front page.
Yes. And I think that's one of the biggest knocks on YouTube and her is that she is a golden child. She is one of the YouTube, like you cannot touch her. If she was playing goalie, if she was playing soccer, she'd be the goalie, right? You cannot touch her. And they platform her endlessly. Her audience is children, and she's a multi-millionaire, right? Based off of this type of content. She's young, she's successful, but she's also very fragile. And by fragile, she doesn't like criticism very much. And that's what you've seen with Jacksfilms, where he's criticized her. And he has a pretty sizable audience doing content about her to the point to where he's actually created a second channel where he watches her videos and pretty much reacts to his reaction. He reacts to her reaction. Because
so it's like inception of reactions.
Right, exactly. With the intention of making fun of it. And then he rates her reactions at the end of it, like giving it a grade. Right.
God.
And it's so stupid and so ridiculous. But the reason why this is important to talk about is that over the weekend, she showed up at his house uninvited. And which goes to Twitter here. So Jacksfilm puts out this thing. Says SSniperwolf just doxed me on her Instagram. Creepy, gross, violating. What you do is disgusting. You steal content and stalk YouTubers. YouTube demonetized this dangerous quote-unquote creator and get her off your platform. She posted an Instagram story right outside her house and deleted it. So she's like, "Hey, I'm right next to his house. Should I go and and talk to him?" Pretty much. And she then produces a video standing outside of his house, and he's like live streaming at this time. There's video of him who's like, and he's like, "What? She's outside my house? This is crazy." So it goes back to the idea that, number one, she doxed him. She showed his house, something that you should never, ever, ever do to any creator. There are lines in the sand, I think, that most people can take, that most people understand. There's unwritten rules, right? But doxing is actually a written rule when it comes to YouTube. You can't dox people. So let's put it right there and say, like, just your general thoughts on SSniperwolf and her actions. And
yeah, I don't know much about her. I know after this came out, people were pointing out that she got arrested here. Apparently, I don't know if that means she lives here or she just prefers to get arrested in a state with a balanced budget. I don't know what. I think she's in California. Maybe, I have no idea. Most of these YouTubers are in the California. I just, the thing I wonder is, with all, so Instagram's owned by Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same company.
right.
So so Instagram's got to have, I know Facebook has a policy against it. Only Facebook is allowed to dox fucking Facebook users. So how does she still have an Instagram account? It would be my first question. The second one would be, how's that not in violation of YouTube terms of service?
Okay. That's where this gets spicy. Because once again, we've talked about her being one of the golden children on YouTube with 34. By the way, she's not a child. She's 30 years old, right? But, she's an attractive young lady with a very sizable audience of 34 million
She looks
people.
like she buys condoms in bulk. I don't know if it fucking... No.
What is I don't know a single person who buys condoms in bulk.
You know exactly what that.
You haven't met her. I don't know what
Is that like at a Costco wholesale? Like, I need these Trojans, thank you. Put in cart.
But so Jacksfilms has put a video out, and I want to watch a little bit of this.
SSniperwolf, a massive YouTuber, showed up outside of our home, recorded a video of our home, and then posted it to her 5.6 million Instagram followers, goading me with the line, "Let's talk like adults." In my 17 years on YouTube, I've never once had someone come to my home and vaguely threaten me. SSniperwolf.
So I think it's really important to say this. I don't care if she has 5 million subscribers or followers or 5, right? You shouldn't do that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the number. You just shouldn't show up. I think that's like a very obvious statement. Is it not?
Yeah. It's also respect for other people too, regardless if they're YouTubers or not. You just don't go to somebody's house and be like, "Hey, we're gonna talk now." It's like, whoa.
Well, I mean, let's reverse the roles. This,
oh my god!
This fucking dude shows up at her house. What the? How many fucking armed men tackle him to the ground? Number one.
Hashtag me too, right?
Yeah. How quick are the cops there, and how quick does his YouTube channel get taken down? Fucking greased lightning, I guarantee it.
So he goes on and he talks about this for another couple of minutes, and we could watch it, or I could just give you the cliff notes. But the long and short of it is that he feels threatened. He and his wife feel vulnerable, which I think is rightfully so, right? I mean, you have somebody show up and put it out there to any audience. But
did
he has
show like a number, like the house. You know how some houses have the numbers right on the door. Like, did she show that in a video or something too?
That's been an argument of if she shows the number. I don't think that's a.
It's just like it makes it a lot worse because some houses and doors look similar, right? But like if it's like the numbers right there, it's like, wow, that is a very obvious doxing. I think the situation's a lot worse.
I think the bigger question I have is, how did she get his address?
That's another thing too.
Right? Like, how does she know where he lived? But
that's how he knows she doxed him. That's how he knows.
Yeah. I think his request is that YouTube steps in and they ban her. They remove her from the platform and she goes away because it's against the rules. And now the ball, I think, is in. Everyone's going to look at YouTube and say, okay, what are you going to do? And do you realistically think that YouTube will will remove a creator with 36 million subscribers to their channel or to their platform.
I mean, they went after PewDiePie for a while. He had an awful lot of subscribers at the time. You know what I mean? I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility, but boy, she has friends in high places at YouTube. There's no question. She's on the front page every time. There's more than a little nepotism going on here.
Right. And it's funny because if you were to go in like an incognito window or just go onto YouTube not signed in, you will definitely see her on the front page.
Yeah.
She's there. But I don't think it's an unreasonable ask. And I think that a lot of people are going to be looking at YouTube here and saying like, what are you going to do? Because it's a term we use all the time. You hear it, frequently in media. This could be a very slippery slope. If they don't do anything here, who's to say they don't? This isn't like that's more or less them saying it's okay. What's the silence is violence, YouTube, right? If you don't do anything about it, what do then it's okay, right?
Yeah. And she's the type to bloviate and call herself a victim. And the only prior even experience I have with her channel is didn't like when the whole Sarkeesian feminism in gaming thing was going on. Didn't she like shit all over herself and get dumped on by the internet over it? I have a vague memory of that at some point. So she's definitely the kind of person to fucking caterwaul when people hit back at her.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because about her kind of playing the victim, because yes, she has immediately come out and said she is the victim in this situation. And I think this is amazing. She says, this is from her Instagram, accusing me of doxing is defamation. I have no idea how to dox, right? How do you work online? Work online and have 36 million subscribers and not know how to dox or what doxing is. I just think that's absolutely the most insane, ignorant statement you could possibly make. I don't know. It's just, and
which, by the way, how do you think people dox people? They use fucking a series of search engines to find your fucking information. Like, this is generally how doxing. Well, welcome to the fucking club, bitch. Like, you basically just admitted to doxing the motherfucker.
Right. So, I don't know. It's a very messy situation that I think that YouTube has a lot of things in motion. I'm sure they're having a lot of meetings this morning about
or not, and they're probably like,
Here's the reality of YouTube that people don't want to understand is that they can delete anybody instantly and make another Sniper Wolf and promote them, and they'll have 34 million subscribers in this, in a few years.
But where are they gonna find someone who can do what she does?
Look at that.
Look at it. That's boob job. 100%.
Oh yeah.
No. And my favorite thing is, let me share this one instead. 2017. I like to have feminist compilation videos play in the background when I'm relaxing.
Is that real?
That's her tweet from 2017. I googled the Sniper Wolf feminism, and now it showed up.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Would greatly appreciate that so you can find more clips on the channel. And of course, come join us live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time for our live Side Scrollers podcast. We would love to see you there.